Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I have an art journal video for you. I wanted to tell you guys first that I'm starting with some Gina K masking magic paper or tape. And this is mostly used for stamping. It's not really made for mixed media, but it worked pretty well here. So the concept behind it is it's kind of like post-it sticky, right? It's not super sticky, so it's not going to peel up anything. You can stick it down and then mask whatever's behind it and then reveal it, and then yeah. It's blank behind it, or whatever you have behind it is still there, if that makes sense. So I'm starting with some acrylic gouache. I am still getting used to these. I've done a video or two on my Patreon using my acrylic gouache. I'm not sure if I've actually used them on YouTube, but I'm just going to do a rainbow. So my idea here was just to swatch these out. I was swatching them for an online fearless summer camp that I'm doing, or that I signed up for. My friend Shauna is hosting it, and it's online, and it's all about art journaling, and it's just a lot of fun. And so anyways, the whole idea was to swatch out some paints. That's what I was doing. And so I wanted to I'm still trying to get used to these. So they dry matte, and I am dipping my paintbrush in a little tiny bit of water. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out how they blend, how they work. And I really wanted to do a rainbow because rainbows are fun and they're beautiful and they're colorful, and thought it was fun. So I end up making a whole, like, 2 art journal pages. My plan was just to do the swatches here. I'm glad I filmed it though, because it ended up just turning into something, and it was a lot of fun. So I encourage you, and I say this in all of my art journal videos, I encourage you to just sit down and play with your products, pull them out, pull one thing out, and just start with a swatch, and it might turn into something completely different. And you don't have to sit down and complete a whole page or think that it has to look a certain way. Just sit down and play with your products, and just have fun, because really, honestly, that's why we buy them, right? We buy the products to have fun, to have a hobby, to learn something new maybe. But don't stress out so much to where you're scared to use your products. I think that happens to a lot of people, and I'm not gonna lie, it happens to me sometimes. I've had these acrylic gouache sitting in my scrapbook room for probably 6 months, or longer actually. And I've only used them a couple times just because I really am not sure, like I'm not sure about them. I'm not sure how they really work, because it's a mix between a watercolor and an acrylic paint. And so, like I said, they dry permanent, but they dry matte. And I'm still trying to figure out like how to blend them because they are so opaque. But it's okay. I had fun and I played and I made a rainbow, and rainbows are fun. And if a double page, 2 pages intimidates you, sit down and just work on 1 page. Or just pull a piece of paper out, a mixed media paper or watercolor paper, and just play. So there, I pulled up the masking paper and I was like, oh, well, now I have this pretty masking heart, this masking paper, but it's a beautiful heart now with all of these beautiful colors on it. And I have this black kind of gessoed background over here. Let's just see what happens. So I pulled out my multi-medium, and that's a glue, and I'm using that to glue this heart down over top of this black. Now, the multimedia that I have does not dry matte. It has like a glossy finish to it. So it dries shiny. The black that I had over on the right hand side was black gesso, and I'm using more to cover up the whole page now. I had some left over on a paintbrush from a previous video that I did for Patreon. And I just didn't want to waste it. So I used it just on this page. So it turned into something complete, like a whole different thing, right? And I just absolutely love the way it looks. I wish that I would have painted the gesso, the black gesso on the background first, but it's okay because I messed up a little bit here around the heart, but it's all good. It still looks beautiful. I love it. I love that that gesso dries matte, but you can see where I use that glue that it's still kind of shiny. So I'm going to go back over it with the black gesso a little bit more just to make it matte around there where that glue was. So I'm just kind of going over top of that glue with the gesso to make it matte and to make it all kind of blend well. And so it doesn't look like I glued it. And there, I made a mistake again. It's okay. I grab a baby wipe and I kind of wipe it away and it's all good. It's okay. Mistakes happen. I like to leave my mistakes in my videos because I want y'all to know that, like, I also make mistakes. Things happen and it's okay. You just move on. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Just filling in kind of around the heart and anywhere where I think is still shiny. And then I'm going to dry it with my heat tool. And it's all pretty. It's all like matte except for a little place right here. And I'm just going around that, and then there it is. So from here, I really didn't know what else I wanted to do. So I ended up pulling a black paint marker out and outlining this white heart. I felt like it just needed kind of an outline, right? Like I don't know, I felt like it needed it. So that's what I did, and that's what I'm going to do. This paint marker, I don't know where I got it. I know where I got it, but it's an Office Mate paint marker. I have a black and a white one, and I got them from an art store that is local to me. And then I decided to paint the inside of the heart white, or not white. It's already white, guys. I decided to paint it black. So I'm going to use that black gesso again, which is what I used over on the right-hand side. So now I'm trying to kind of make them coordinate, kind of make them go together, even though they're two completely separate different pages. I still kind of want them to look, I don't know, cohesive or look like they coordinate together. So that is what I'm doing right now, and I'm just using a very small paintbrush for that. I am almost out of my black gesso, and I've had this for years, and I absolutely love it because I love that it's matte, and I don't know, I just really like the way that matte looks. So if you have never tried black gesso, I suggest this stuff. It's great. I love it. I love the way that it looks. Also the acrylic gouache or the acryl gouache, they're a lot of fun to play with. And like I said, I'm still getting used to them, but I personally love the way that like matte paint looks. I just think it's so fun. So now I'm pulling the white paint marker, and I'm just going to do some kind of like stitching lines, just hand-drawn stitches around the heart on this side on that matte black. And then I'm also going to do the same thing on the inside of the heart on the other page. So on the black part, the black matte part. I feel like it stands out really, really well, and I really love the way that that looks. Again, I had no idea what I was doing when I started with this. I honestly thought that I was just going to do a swatch of these colors over top of the heart and then reveal the white kind of heart behind it. And it just turned into something completely different. So sit down and play with your products. The last thing that I'm going to do is some tiny word phrases. One says, creativity takes courage, and the other one says, live each day with grace and authenticity. And then off camera, I did do some splatters on the black matte part, and they looked really cool. So have fun with your products, play, and thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to spread love and be kind. I hope that you all have an amazing day. Bye, friends.